Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you 20 reasons why I believe people leave India. Okay, and this is not taken from anywhere in the internet, or I, search somewhere, and or these are points that I actually spoke to people who have left India. Okay, and please, before you even jump the bandwagon, they are anti-national and they are traitors. Let me tell you that these people who I spoke to, it's not that they hate India, it's not that they hate Indians, uh, but they did it for a genuine reason. And these 20 reasons that I've taken is after speaking to quite a number of them. In fact, this topic came into existence after this India-Canada fiasco that is taking place right now. So I, my WhatsApp groups and all that, so I asked them privately, hey man, just to understand, why did you leave India? Like somewhere in Canada, somewhere in Australia, somewhere in US. And then I got this idea for this video. So watch this video and let me know your thoughts. Do you think I'm right or wrong? Okay. And please, just by saying they are traitors or they are weak-minded, look at the logic. There are 20 points. So I'll try to go a little fast, so don't mind the pace. All right. So feel free, comment down below. In case you're new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo, personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, and also the Middle East, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. And people also book my services for coaching, consulting, mentoring, training, and even sharing their problems, which they can't share with anyone. They want a different opinion. Okay. Details are put down below. So why do people leave India? The first one, in no particular order, the first most obvious one is higher paying jobs. Everybody wants to earn more money. Okay. And this is not a bad thing. If you are earning $1,000 and for the same job you will be paid $3,000, I mean, are you going to say no? No, definitely. Because remember this, saying Jai Hind or being ready to die for the country or supporting India, oh, I'll die for whatever. It's not going to feed your family. You can support BJP, Narendra Modi, Rahul Gandhi, Congress, all as much as you like. It's not going to feed your family. It's not going to give them a better life. It's not going to increase your bank balance. It's not going to improve your savings. So people generally, most of them who are employees, who are getting a salary per month, if they get much more than what they are getting by and paying less tax, who wouldn't take it? You would take it, I would take it, anyone would take it. So the first one is higher paying jobs for the same role. And remember this, so many Indians, why they are moving to Dubai, UAE? I told them I'm a personal branding strategist. Because many of them, okay, let me rephrase, not many of them, because then you'll start thinking that everyone can get. Most of them who are qualified, really, I'm not joking, they end up getting 10 times the salary. 10 times. I've seen the highest, maybe 15 point something, whatever he was getting in India versus what he was getting in, because most of these companies, they are multinational and it's tax-free. So the overall savings with the benefits is quite high. So if you are getting $500 per month and now all of a sudden you're getting $5,000, here you have to pay tax, here you have to pay no tax, which is better. So the first one, higher paying jobs. The second one is career advancement. Now, that doesn't mean in India there is no career advancement, but the competition, the politics, the culture, it's very, very tough. Mostly in India, if a person joins a company, they do not leave that position or that job very easily because it's very tough, very competitive. India is extremely competitive. Okay. Like for every job, you might end up getting minimum, say 1,000 CVs. Let's say in Dubai, you apply for a job, you'll get 100 CVs. Maybe for the same job, you'll get 1,000 CVs. Even classrooms, if you actually look at it, in Sharjah. I was studying in Sharjah Indian School, which was in Sharjah. There were 30 children in a class, and we thought that was quite a lot. There were only A and B. Okay. When I went to India during the Gulf War, I found out there is like what is the name of the in Ville Parla, Andheri. Then there's Ville Parla in Mumbai, uh, Saint Xavier's Boys School. Each classroom had 60 to 100 students, 60 to 100, and there were five A, B, C, D, E, F. Like, it was unbelievable. It was like here there are only 30 students, and we felt that was law. Here there were 100 plus. So for everything, and India's population is, I think, more than China right now. So it's very hard to, because there are so many people, it's very hard to advance. And if a person doesn't resign from a job, you cannot take up his position because there's no vacancy. So the second one is career advancement. And in places like Dubai, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, new companies are created every year, every few months. So there's always a new opportunity for career advancement. Number three, there are plenty of opportunities, plenty, which India does not offer. And you might say, oh, Loy, I challenge you, tell me. Guess what? For example, Olympics. How much support do you think India is giving for its wrestlers, for its judo athletes, for football players, for any other sports other than cricket? Where are they actually focusing or giving so much support? Hardly anything. They don't. Actually, in some of them, you literally have to bribe the officials to even get your name. While in, let's say, places like these Middle East countries, because maybe the population is small or maybe they are new, they give tremendous support. See, in Dubai, there are government-funded programs where even expatriates get support from the government. If you if you excel in sports, they don't mind supporting you. For example, even take Western countries like the football teams. Some of these football teams, like France, all of them are surrounded by, I think, African players. Like, just think about it. Can you imagine in India a team filled with, just immigrants? It's impossible. Can you imagine a team filled with the people only based on merit? I know, any Indian knows that purely based on merit is very, very hard. There is too much of bureaucracy. There is too much of like Godfather, like Sachin Tendulkar's son would have better chance to join a cricket team of his choice rather than a boy from a village who has better batting or better bowling average. And I think there was one of the stories circulating around. And apart from that, different other athletics, they don't hardly get any support in India. But abroad, it's much, much more. In Canada, I even heard one of these, I can't get the specific story, but they really look to develop talents, especially if you become a citizen. So that is number three. Number four is other miscellaneous talents of yours. I'll give you one example here. This female, I knew her from Dubai. She came down from the southern part of India. She always had artistic talent. That was singing, painting, and dancing. Okay. But now what had happened is she tried in India, nothing was there. In Dubai, there were not many avenues that time. Remember, this is around 15 years ago. She finally moved down to the US. Today, she has an art exhibition that features her paintings. She has because she knew Indian dance and all that, she has opened up a school, and there are so many foreigners who want to learn from her. And singing, she herself, although she's not very particular on social media, but she's getting opportunities to sing in exhibitions and events, even though they are not paying her much money for this, but she's doing it because it's a hobby. Can you imagine? There was no avenue in India for this. In Dubai 15 years ago, 15, 20, there was hardly anything. But today she's finally getting, and that also at the age of, I think, 50. Can you imagine that? So, and also keep in mind, in Europe, if you have the talent and the skill, and you play somewhere on the streets and all, people appreciate. People give you opportunities, which I don't think you can do in India. In India, if you take out a microphone and start singing, they'll think you're some beggar. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Number 5. This one is a big one, work-life balance. In India, I think because of the population, because of the rush, majority of the time is spent on traveling and rushing, and by the time you reach home, you're exhausted. Okay. And obviously, you can't, unless if you're working for a government, this thing maybe you can go home on time, but most of the companies, you cannot go home on time. In the West, okay, there is a work-life balance. When it's a particular time, and because I worked abroad, at a particular time, they'll finish, please leave, go home, because I'm paying you per hour. I don't want to be held responsible to pay you more. So there is specific timing. You get paid per hour. So you can choose. You want to work more and get paid more. So there is work-life balance, and there is emphasis on spending time with the family. I don't think there is a single company in India, maybe I'm wrong, where they say, no, 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 stop working, please go home, spend time with your family. There were one or two shots where I saw these computers, all of a sudden they show, no, stop working, computers shut off, you have to go home. But it doesn't work in India, because that work culture in India is to be a hardcore workaholic. Even in the Middle East, there are certain companies. So, yeah, work-life balance is better abroad compared to India. Number 6, entrepreneurship and the benefits of running a business. This I only discovered after I made friends who are business people in Dubai. That was 15 years ago plus, where businessmen who were successful in Dubai, they told me this. In UAE, within a year to 2 years, you can cover up all your investments, your losses, whatever you put, and you can run a successful business. In India, it is absolutely impossible. In fact, I have a couple of businessmen who are trying from Dubai. They're trying to start up something in India, factories and firms. They're saying the bureaucracy and the complication is so much. In fact, they've lost money, and they said, forget it, I don't want to try in India. So India, it's very, very hard. It's like, even if you have money, still you can't set up anything. In fact, do you know this? In Dubai, you can register a company within, I think, 45 minutes to an hour. Seriously, in Dubai. Sheikh Mohammed has made this initiative where you can not only set up a company, you can register, you can start applying for the visas, all within 1 hour. Do you think that is possible in India? Impossible, man. Number 7, which is very obvious, bureaucracy, which is absolutely high in India. It is to the point of disgusting. And I've seen this that time when I was a young boy, my mother and stepfather, we went for registering something of a property and house. And every place you went, they would open the drawer and they would call it what? Chai pani, paisa, chai pani, something like tea, expense for tea or something. And, you just had to put, the drawer was open and there were notes being put there. And only the higher amount you put, the faster the stamp. I've seen this in the legal, in the court case. I will not give specifics, but the lawyer and the judge, each document had really currency there. And as soon as they would stamp, and everyone was involved in that. And suppose it's low, they say, hey, yeah, like they'll say, why so low? You have to put some extra. So this is there. And like, I'll give you a simple example. In Dubai, this is because I've been in Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed constantly gives surprise visits to these government departments just to figure out how much time each thing is taken. And there are actual signs which show how many minutes each counter is taking. So everyone's under pressure to finish it fast. In India, do you see this happening, that every counter has a timer? In fact, there was a meme that was not meme, a photograph circulating around. People are standing in line, and this lady has this old CRT monitor, and she's playing, I think, solitaire or some old Windows game. So people don't care a damn in India. And India is too big to correct anything. So you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Number 8 is very obvious, poverty, which is so rampant. I think the cities that I've visited, I could see much more of it, especially Mumbai. Terrible, man. Terrible. The slums and the train, if you go early in the morning, the people who are pooping and pissing on this thing, and it's unbelievable. It's sad, but this is the reality. I mean, so many of them on social media, they look so amazing. But if you actually go and visit them and see their lives, they live really financially very challenging life. So it's very expensive. And that's one of the reasons I didn't move to India, because India is not cheap. Like even during, there's so many times where onions, tomatoes, and vegetables and the basic commodities, the prices shoot like crazy. In fact, I heard after COVID, the inflation for petrol and basic amenities, the price went like crazy. So that adds to poverty, and only the rich get richer, but the poorer get poorer, and the middle class suffers a lot. 9, the quality of life improvements like healthcare, infrastructure, even old age homes. I don't think in India the infrastructure is world class. I don't think the social services are truly up to the mark. Yeah, they're making an effort, but it's not there. And healthcare, it all depends. I don't think there is free healthcare. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there are good doctors and there are institutions which offer help, but I don't think it's government funded. Okay, so this you get much more in the West. That's one of the reasons why people leave. Old age homes. Do you have any information about old age homes? Do they take care of, like, does the government look after its old age citizens? I don't think so. So what's the point of paying taxes and doing everything else when there's no benefits being offered? Number 10, economic opportunities and the fact that the economy is stronger. Now, here, I know you'll debate and say, oh, India is now the 5th largest power and this and that. Fine. India is stable in terms of a country, in terms of the economy. But when you go to the micro level of a typical household, middle class family, like I chat with so many of the WhatsApp group members, the GST, the taxes, and it's okay. As a country, India is doing very well, but individually, for human being, for these households, they're finding very, very challenging, very, very expensive. So, what's the point if the country is doing very well, but you are not? Yes, it is important. I'll not be ignorant and say that it should be like a war-torn country like Syria, or a country that's suffering. Even in the United States, they show everything is stable, but there are so many people who are suffering. So what is the point if your country shows so much of power where the rich are richer, but the middle class and the poor are suffering? Okay, so that's economy. Number 11 is cultural and lifestyle preferences. India is still living in the past, whereby if a lady gets pregnant and she's not married, it's taboo. Gay relationships are taboo. Even religion, for that matter. The majority religion, which is Hindu, if you're caught taking beef and cows, and you can get beaten and battered, even bloodied or murdered. So this is proving to be a problem. I know you'll highlight the burning of the Quran and all that. Those are one-off incidents, but generally they like to live with a very diplomatic live and let live. Okay. Number 12, this one is extremely important. Education, which I believe in India, the better the institute, the more the money. To get into these institutes with merit, you'll have to spend 10 to 20 years with extra classes, and the majority have a quality of education which is not at all recognized globally, and in many cases are fraud, fake, or just pointless. I know so many of them who are, in Canada, you can check these videos. There are so many of them who are applying there with their MBAs and they can't string a word of English. Like there was this video that I seen where they're complaining about Canada not offering the jobs, and they're claiming to be racist. You should see the personality of each Indian. They don't even speak English. अरे यार कहाँ भी अप्लाई किया, कुछ भी फायदा नहीं है, क्या फायदे यहाँ आके. And if that is how you talk and communicate in Canada, bloody hell, you'll not even get a job as what do we say, cleaning the the shit off the floor, man. Come on. You're going to Canada speaking bloody English. You're supposed to be an MBA. And I even speak to decision makers. They have an MBA in literature and MBA in English, and they can't string a sentence. And many of them think by copying AI or using these apps and this thing to generate a letter. But then when you are asked to communicate, on cam, and you can't, it clearly shows you copy paste. Who you trying to fool, man? So the education system is pathetic in India, and it rewards memorization. That's the unfortunate thing. Number 13, environmental concerns, the pollution of air, water. I mean, simple. The smog in Delhi, the air quality in Mumbai, terrible. Okay, India is vast. Kerala is okay, good. Ladakh or hill stations. But I'm talking of the main metropolitan cities or where majority of the people are. I mean, in Delhi, it seems that if you go jogging in the morning, given the smog that there is or the cars, your face, if you were to take a wipe and wipe it, you'll get like black soot. And I've experienced this when I went for a business trip. After you sweat and all that the whole day, when you take one of those facial wipes, cotton with this thing, and you just wipe like this, seriously, try it. If you're in India, just try. Go outside for 1-2 hours, come back in the traffic. When you wipe your face, it'll be black stuff. So, and yeah, I think during COVID, when they were burning all these bodies for, after they die, they were half burnt, dead bodies polluting. Like even the Ganga River, which is supposed to be holy, is so polluted that it's you can even see floating shit, man. Come on, it's terrible, chemicals and all that. Number 14, which is India is most infamous for, Indian mentality and behavior. And you don't have to go to India to see this. Just look at the tourists who come to visit your place. See the gang of them, how they behave, how they dress, how they act, how they look, how they smell, how they stare at women as if, oh, I don't need to go too deep into this. I've made many videos. The Indian mentality, and that is why quite a number of them leave. If you have a different opinion that is different to theirs, you can get into serious trouble, which is one of the reasons why I chose not to be in India. Just imagine if I were to criticize the BJP, Modi, or Hindus, what is going to happen? Number 15, this one is not actually a plus point, but this is something many Indians fantasize about, marrying a foreign national. There's so much of emphasis between on marrying a white female, white chick, and that is why you'll get many of these guys who like to show off beautiful, hot female. And yeah, it kind of gives them a variety. That's why they like to marry foreign nationals and the benefits that come with it. Yes, there are some people who misuse this rule, but then again, that's one of the reasons why they migrate. And they want to have maybe a different way of thinking. Number 16 is a modern community. Most of the behaviors that is not permissible in India, I'm not saying all of it is bad, is very permissible in the West. You can be the gay community or the LGBT or the community that believes that they are trans species, like half dog, like in Germany, half dog, half human being, that you can get. I know it's not all goody thing, but I'm telling you there are options for that. It's not all mad and crazy, but there are different options, which India does not give. Number 7 is persecution of minority. Number 17, sorry, not 7. Persecution of minority communities and marginalized groups. This seems to be a very serious problem ever since Modi came into power. The Muslims or the low caste or whatever, they had a lot of discrimination, a lot of problems, and people are being very brave and bold on social media when they're attacking even the MPs. There was a video, MPs attacking a Muslim guy. So this is shocking, but this is what is happening in India, and this is one of the reasons why people prefer to leave. Number 18 is personal safety, which is very well understood. Like I told you, if I was in India right now, some guy, because I have a difference of opinion, he can set my house on fire, he can catch my collar. I've seen videos where if you criticize a political party, they literally catch you, hit you with slippers, blacken your face, just shave your head off with the electric this thing. I've seen these videos, actual videos. These are not fake videos. So, and in some of the videos which have been horribly graphic, they actually, this guy from a political party who's a goon, he will A vegetable seller was selling, they overturned all his stuff and they beat him. And then in some cases, they even hold a guy and they fist hitting him. That also in groups. They consider that brave. They'll never do it one-on-one. They'll do it in groups, which is a shame. So personal safety is very important. And if you have a girl child or if you have a daughter, very unsafe. India, especially if you take a girl where there is a crowd of men and lights go off or something happens, and they, even tourists, they have literally shown this online. Indian men flipping their private parts or touching them. Oh, I love you, kiss you. And so that's another one. 19, political stability and social stability. In India, everything is BJP oriented. And if they want to get more votes, create more chaos, which is, I don't know, maybe taken from Donald Trump's playbook, divide and rule. But divide and rule has worked very well in India, which continues. In Donald Trump's case, well, there's a little bit of legitimacy because he's highlighting something that's very real. But in India, it's more towards, I guess, to control the crowds. You have to, majority are Hindus, get them on your side, rest of the problems are sorted out. And last, if not the least, point number 20 is the retirement and golden visa programs, which many countries are offering. That means if you're old and you have money, you'll be taken care of. In India, I doubt you will be taken care of. I don't think there's anything like a golden visa. And if you're old and you don't have money, I don't think India is going to take care of you. But abroad, if you're old and you're a citizen, they will offer you some degree of protection, at least the best. Okay. And Dubai, at least, has stepped up its game with people who are old, but they have money, they'll take care of you. I don't think that kind of program has still been invented or created in India. So these are the 20 reasons why people are leaving India and going abroad. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Feel free to tell me this point I disagree, or if you feel there is another point, feel free to add that as well. Good, bad, ugly. Love to read your comments. This means signing off. You guys take care.